All right, welcome on into the channel. I'm Ryan Ripken, and we're starting some new things. People say know your foe, but it's really not a know your foe. I just like to bring more perspective to opposing players, per se. So today, we're graced with the presence of an opposing player, Cleveland Guardians, best team in the American League, and one of their top young rising players. Triston McKenzie joins us in studio. Triston
McKenzie here. Thank you for having me on. Not a foe because I'm not throwing during this series, but definitely player for the Cleveland Guardians, drafted in 2015, right-handed pitcher. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You're not a foe. We just talked about this. We're fans of the players themselves, but people sometimes, it's like enemy lines. And for the Orioles right now, it's not that it's going 4-game losing streak. You would have thought the world's ending, Zach, right? So far,
no, the season is over. If you look on social media,
that's baseball fans in general.
Yeah, and I mean, hate to break it to them, people didn't believe me when I said if I told you an Orioles team had 2 7-game losing streaks and they still went on to win the World Series in the same season, and they're like, nope, didn't happen. Never heard of it. And that was the last time the Orioles won the World Series in 1983.
Wow,
well before our time here, Triston.
Yeah.
All right, so a little more background. You're a Florida guy. You grew up even with some of the guys that we've talked about. Nick Vespe's a guy that you know. Our mutual friend, Kervin Mosquite. Shout out, Mo's your guy.
Mo's my guy. Mount Castle. Can't forget Mountie. Yeah.
And then another one that people are going to hear in Baltimore in the future, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is another guy.
What's up, Reek?
Yeah, so I mean, like that's the thing is like if you're not going to be a Cleveland Guardians, like I think there's a little connection for Baltimore here. I'm just feeling it a little bit.
I like crap.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, let's talk about that for 1 second. So are you like you've had the experience of like eating crabs like that?
Yeah, I like seafood a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so
good crab cakes here, good crab dip. I don't know. It's everything crab here is amazing.
That's amazing. You know what, Zach? I think I'm
glad
on
you
to
think
something
that.
for future trips for Triston.
Yeah.
We have some people that I think would be very happy to let you sample some more crab cakes,
Oh, baby.
Whoa.
I'm in.
crabs, anything like that. What other seafood do we like then? Now that we're on the topic,
All of it.
everything.
Fish, shrimp, octopus, whatever.
Octopus,
Eel, sushi.
Yeah. Okay. Eel. Okay. Now
sushi.
okay. Sushi. Love sushi. Eel is not the one that I've usually gotten into.
So
though.
like on my sushi, it's all right.
Mhm.
But like, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
You'll eat it. Fair enough. So Triston and I actually initially, Zach, if you were hearing this part of it, I did face Triston. We have met before in Mahoning Valley versus the Auburn Doubledays, was a short season team for the Washington Nationals. Mahoning Valley. What was the team mascot?
Scrappers.
That's it.
That's an incredible team name.
Yeah. No better teams.
Scrappers.
No better team names than minor league baseball teams. The experiences, though, that's also otherworldly experiences. But so we faced each other. Short season 2016 is where we came to the decision. Not good for your boy. Triston threw like 3 fuzzballs right by me. I don't think he had to throw anything else. I think you talked about it. That's when your ball was like an invisible. You were on a bender, and I think as ironically love my one teammate. He was having some struggles, but you gave up like 1 run in like 30 innings or something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not tasting myself here, but I'm pretty sure my short season ERA is like sub 2.
Yeah, no, it was disgusting.
Maybe like just about around a 1.
Yeah, so when I saw your profile getting drafted, I always liked the stuff. I hated facing you. That was a different note. But what I was talking about with my teammate is that he was going through some struggles. He hadn't gotten a lot of hits. And behold, the 1 run you gave up against us
was to him.
It's funny
Baseball, baby.
Hey, that's the game of baseball, yeah?
Yeah, that's the game. That is the game of baseball, right? So you've now been in pro baseball for 10 years, right?
9 coming up on 10.
9 years, and this is your 5th year in the bigs. So I think for a lot of people, this is the discussion, and we talked with a lot of people about going up through the levels. Usually, if you're a talented player, your talent can shine through in the minor league levels, and then there is an adjustment in the big league. So from your perspective, what was one of the bigger adjustments when you first got up to Cleveland and trying to adjust? Because we've seen it in Baltimore with guys like Grayson Rodriguez, Kyle Bradish, and they figured it out, but there was a buffer period.
Yeah. I mean, I think like big league hitters are big league hitters for a reason. And I think once you get there, you don't necessarily understand that like stuff only gets you but so far. I think there's like a level of discipline once you get to the big leagues. There's a level of just knowing your own game, where you can't just go out there and, as much as you have to go out there and compete and kind of lay your nuts on the table, the guys have to like make an adjustment in terms of like, they know you, there's scouting reports, there's advanced scouting reports, there's machines that kind of like replicate your throwing motion. There's all this stuff, this information that they have kind of coming into the game, and knowing that like you have to pitch to the hitters and kind of cater to a style of play that maybe an organization plays, or just knowing like the type of players that they have.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking is Ryan O'Hearn actually was telling us that the Orioles, even in their development, they put in I think we were talking about a like type of machine, Zach, right? Was I referencing that, where you can kind of mimic the throwing motions, and it's the advancement's ridiculous. Did you ever? And you're right, like you gotta man up, you gotta sack up. The other term you can use here, besides putting your nuts on the table, Zach. You've heard me speak like this.
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. It's nothing new. But do you have that first moment of getting to the bigs? It was kind of that like, oh shit moment where you're reminded, so it's a different level.
I think like, I don't know. There's like through my rookie campaign in 20 and even into 21, I think like just getting on the field and being like, oh my God, I'm in the big leagues. Oh my God, like seeing Miguel Cabrera across the field, or seeing like Salvador Perez, or seeing these guys that like I grew up watching play, and then being on the field with them, and then having to face them, and then like getting up a home run to Salvador Perez on a ball that I think is 3 inches outside, or I think is like a good heater.
Yeah.
And he whacks, and I'm like, well, what am I doing wrong? And it's not necessarily anything that you're doing wrong. It's just that these guys are good, and you have to like make the adjustment to kind of cater to their style of play and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's what I love what you just talked about, is because I think that people understand, or when you look at talented players, I tell people when you get to the big leagues, what separates you, in my opinion, everyone has talent, and the talent levels vary. But what happens for you to stay is you have to be so consistent with whatever you've been good at. So if you're the most uberly talented players, let's say go hitter wise, like Bryce Harper, I think he's a pretty good player. Who?
Jose Ramirez.
Shout out. He's the vote getter for third base right now.
Yeah, which he should be. I mean,
he's only got like 70 RBIs.
I mean, it's only the one of the
20 bombs, 70 RBIs.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about him in 1 second here. So, okay, Jose Ramirez, a good example there, where it's just he uberly talented, and then on top of it, he knows what he needs to do to be consistent. Why he's a superstar player. Then you have guys that can be talented, but they don't figure it out consistently enough where they could struggle. Then there's players that maybe aren't as deemed as the most physically gifted, but they know how to be successful at the big league level. I think that's what I try to remind people. Now I want to ask you about Jose Ramirez because, dude, I think that Baltimore fans got a little taste of it in game one. I've been watching him for a while. You see him every single day. We had one guy on, Joe Noga from Cleveland.com, that made, as far as a impact appearance, and this was a very bold claim, but he said he feels Jose Ramirez, the talent-wise and what he means to the Guardians, is almost the same feeling concept-wise to LeBron in Cleveland with the Cavs. And that was bold. I prefaced that with bold.
But the thing is, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's super far off in terms of like what he means to our team.
Yeah.
Like, he is our superstar. He is our star player, where like every time we're in a big spot, we want Jose up.
Yep.
It's not that we don't trust everybody else. It's just that if we had to pick 1 out of 9 who we want at the plate, you want Jose.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing that the type of player that he is, and not even just with the bat, on defense, how solid he is, and knowing that you can rely on him to be the same guy every day.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, it's a confidence level when that guy just steps on the field. If you know you have him in your lineup, you feel really good about. It's how people feel about Gunnar Henderson right now. Gunnar is the team. It's just different when he is on, and that's just the way it is when Jose's on the field. But that's the thing, you guys playing Cleveland, so no one really talks about him enough. I mean, he is the AL leading vote getter ahead of Jordan Westberg, right, Zach?
Yes.
And so, I mean, goodness gracious, what's he on pace for? 140, 30 RBIs?
Just ridiculous numbers.
What is he like? I mean, watching him, do you get marvel by what he does, or it's just a guy that it seems so normal all the time. Like what's the perspective?
It's literally the same every day. Yeah. Like, I think yesterday is like the perfect example of it. Like, he always comes up in the spot where you're like, all right, first and second, no outs. We would like a base hit here, or we need something to kind of get the boys going. And it's like he comes up with a big base hit. I think what I notice more as his teammate is when he doesn't come through, he takes it personally.
Yeah.
Even if we were up 7 runs, even if we're losing the game down 30, like he takes every at bat seriously, and he wants to be the guy every single time. Which is why I think, like, as his teammate and like the other guys on the team, you look at him and he's our role model because he never takes a pitch off. He never takes a day off. Every at bat means something to him, and he's trying to win the game for himself and for the boys, and that just pushes you to want to do the same. Because if your best player is doing it, what excuse do I have to not do it?
Yeah, it's setting the tone of it, and like honestly, you guys got a lot of tone setters. I mean, really, you had a young nucleus, and that's why there's a little bit of comparison to Baltimore in that. It was back in 22 where it was, man, this team, and ironically, unfortunately for the Chicago White Sox, the Fighting Gavin Sheets.
Yeah, Fighting Gavin Sheets.
So Gavin Sheets, one of my best friends from home. But, the White Sox in 22 were supposed to be the team to win that division. And then you guys are the young up-and-coming, maybe a year away, and you guys came out and surprised everybody. But you guys just have that just belief. And then Stephen Vogt, dude, he just seems like a guy. And I mean, I know that he just literally went from being a player to being a manager. Can you touch on his style of how he's kind of embraced the kind of leading your guys' team in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a player's manager.
Yeah.
I think he just recently got out of playing, but I think that's just a testament to how he goes about his business in the clubhouse, how he goes about his business on the field. I definitely think he's thinking about us first, and he just does a good job of bringing energy and knowing what to say and when to say it.
Yeah.
And just kind of giving guys their space, as well as being able to like get in guys' face. I wouldn't say get in guys' face, but being able to talk to them and have those conversations and really fire you up, being like, hey, we need you for this 5th inning right here. Hey, this is a big at bat coming up here. We might need you to pinch hit for somebody, so on and so forth. And I think with a younger core, with a younger team, it's good that you have a manager that's willing and able to talk to guys and make them feel comfortable in those big situations, because at the end of the day, it's the big leagues. Guys get nervous. It's a hard game.
Yeah, I think that's the other part, that there's more to being a manager than just trying to make the right decisions. I mean, obviously you got to manage the bullpen. Do you what lineups are you putting out there? Are you putting your players in the right positions? All of that. But then there's the also, not that big league players aren't going to be motivated to go out there, but how do you get the most out of them? That's what you're saying. He seems like he's right on top of it with delivering the message at the right time. Am I getting that right?
Finger on the pulse. I think he's fresh out, so he knows how to kind of gauge guys and give when he needs to give and take when he needs to take.
Yeah. So you've enjoyed Cleveland. And I mean, obviously, I'm glad you like seafood here. So you're welcome here anytime you want in Baltimore. But for Cleveland, you've really enjoyed it. It's been a great experience for you. You love the organization. Yeah. Talk a little bit about, like, in 22 when you were helping this team get over that hump, and I told you were dealing. And I saw it firsthand. Like I said, I've watched your career, and to see it get to that level has got to be so rewarding. But on the other part of it, I know, which is frustrating, is in the following year, last year, just it felt like you couldn't catch a break with the injuries. So, and then also, correct me if I'm wrong, you then opted no surgery, right? So that was either surgery, no surgery. Now you're sitting here trying to figure out, did that weigh on you to figure that process out? I know you got a great support system. I know your family, you guys are tight. You got a great circle. But if you can just talk about that, because I think a lot of people nowadays don't know what to make of how to reset or take care of their body to get back.
Yeah. I mean, last year was tough. I think not even just for me. I think for just the team in general. And me just not being able to be around the guys. I think that's something that you really miss when you're out. It's just like being in the clubhouse, playing cards, shooting the breeze with the guys. Just being in the dugout during the game, missing a lot of that stuff was tough. And then on top of it, just making sure like I was doing all my rehab stuff and staying locked in that regard, electing for no surgery, and then kind of going into the off season and being like, all right, we got some work to put in so that I can be out there to be healthy for 30 starts this year.
Yeah.
So I think just more than anything, mentally, just getting to a place where I'm trusting myself and I know that I'm going to try and go out there and put my best foot forward to win the game for my boys and just be in the dugout, be in those situations where I can be with the guys.
Yeah. And I know the part that's frustrating. I think we have this instant gratification or you want the instant success all the time. Right, Zach? When we talk about this,
the game's super result based, so it's like it's hard not to be.
And again, it's a business, right? So it's a business. So when guys are struggling here, and we mentioned about with Seti Mullins, and shout out said, it's when he was going through his really big struggle period. People were saying send Seti out. He's not the guy. Take away his at bats. But then people are only looking at the results side and going, well, wait a minute. What about the person? Because specifically, if the person's off or something's wrong and you're stressed, that's going to impact your play on the field. Would you say right now the hardest thing for you is you're past the injury aspect, right? But now it's just kind of mentally getting yourself back and through these kind of struggles.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people understand like the learning curve that it is to be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
I think like AAA is one thing, the minor leagues is one thing, but like being able to compete and do it consistently day after day for 162 is tough. Especially when I think I missed a whole year last year, and then just being able to come out there and like get to the same level of competition with the same level of trust in your body. Not that you can't do it, but it's more just like there's a learning curve, and you see it when guys are healthy. So I think it's the same for me right now.
Oh, for sure. And before we started this, I told you this before. I got no concern about your stuff and how your ability, but there's so much more that goes into it where you got to get over that hurdle, and maybe some part of it taking a year off. This isn't so much changes. The reps that you get in the business. I mean, it's also now like when we look at some of the other guys, like guys that have been around for a while, like Verlander, Scherzer, that have already established, but to your point, they've already kind of figured out what they need to do at the big league level.
Yeah.
You're still just a young buck in this thing. What, you're 26?
26, going on 27, getting up there.
Yeah, okay. You're not that up there. All right, I'm 30. Zach is.
I'm 24. So I still might have to make a run.
Congrats, man. Yeah, dude. This guy will come in and be like, man, getting so old, so
the
tough.
back pain. I'm telling you, man, it hit me this day.
It's from sitting, dude. You got to get a mobility routine. It's consistency.
So Triston, this is weirdly like maybe 2 times a year I'll go through like a 3-week phase where I am just super into I'm making my hips flexible, and then I'll just stop, and then randomly like 6 months later I'll be like, well, it's time to get the hips flexible again, and then like it's right when you start to see progress, and I'm like, well, that was good.
See, I think that's the hard part. I think that goes into baseball too. Like, you start seeing some success, you got to stay on the stuff that's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
life advice with Triston McKenzie.
Yeah. I mean, Tristan's full of a lot of knowledge here and a lot of things that we're to clip back and listen to and be like, wait a minute. I feel like I've heard some parts of that before. And then a guy that's actually in the big leagues is explaining the struggles and the grind of being in the big leagues. Also, for you and your sake, this dude will be like hammered at like 1:30 in the morning running 40-yard dashes in the streets of Baltimore. Okay. So dude, and that's
do it one time on live stream, and then everyone just asks you as soon as you're out, hey, are you going to run sprints on live?
You did it on live. If you had done it and there was no video evidence,
well, that's the issue. Exactly, that's the issue. Well, the biggest issue was I did it once, and they convinced me that it glitched. So I went all the way back and ran it again.
Now, like your meniscus is messed up.
Possibly.
Because the hips were a little tight, probably.
Yes,
it was the hips. Yes, hip mobility.
It all comes back to the hips. People don't understand that.
Besides making this into a multifunctional studio, we might turn it into like a wellness.
Yeah, you're gonna need some yoga mats.
We might.
Oh my god, we have that extra room.
We might.
Some core strength.
Exactly. Oh. You know what? And Triston can lead the course next time while we're here.
Pilates is tough.
It's tough.
Pilates is tough.
Oh my god. Shout out my mom. Shout out Kelly. Does Pilates every single day.
Oh, she's a trooper.
She's a trooper. She's in it, and like, of course, like your ego is going to be initially like, well, I can like this could be simple.
Athlete.
Yeah, no,
it's not easy.
The core, you would struggle, Zach.
Yeah, I've tried it and I couldn't do it. Like, not struggle, couldn't like.
You ever been on one of the
horrible
the reformer with it too?
No.
Oh, that's a whole different experience with that. The reformer, and you're using your core and the tuck, the hip. Well, yeah. You know what? This will be.
I was gonna say, well, the hips have already. We've already established one issue, Ryan. We can't.
Okay. Well, we can't have Triston solve all of your issues here today.
I know. We'll go one issue at a time. Thank you. I'll work on the hips next time.
Hips, core. I mean, same area.
Exactly. I can group them together.
Yeah,
that's how we'll do it.
Yeah, that's great. But 20, you know, like they say, like hot girl summer, and some guys are like, oh, hot guy summer. No, we're looking for hot guy autumn. That's our goal as a team here.
Fall time.
Flexible hip
Fall
autumn.
time.
Oh, flexible hip fall.
Yes, flexible hip fall.
Well, you're to need it for the football season. But
yeah, very true.
All right, before we go back into baseball, well, since we're a little off topic here and we're talking about other skills they're working on whatnot. Yeah. The whole Shaq, you just singing.
Yeah.
First off, like are you a Kelly Clarkson enthusiast, or you appreciate the songs?
I appreciate good music.
Okay, good.
I appreciate good music. I wouldn't say enthusiast, but she's definitely got some bangers.
She's got some bangers, man. It does. And so Shaq, EDM guy, he's blasting whatever. So then you're the guy that, hey, Triston, get up there.
So we have DJ Diesel coming to perform after the game. And how many of us were out there? 8, 9 of the guys were like, I'm going to stay for DJ Diesel. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a time. We got all the fans on the infield. And we're just kind of like hanging out in front of the dugout. It's probably like 7, 8 of us. And then somebody's like, hey, we should try and get up on stage. I mean, we are the guards. He's performing on our field. Like, why not? We head up. We're like in center field behind the stage. We're trying to like get up there. And then we end up getting on the stage and the fans start going crazy. They're like, oh my God, Stephen Kwan. Oh my God, Triston, Will Brennan. They see all the guys and they start going crazy for us. DJ Diesel's like pumping the crowd up. We're just up there enjoying the time, just enjoying the vibes. I get a tap on the shoulder and DJ Diesel's just looking dead at me like this with the mic. What do I? He's like, just take the mic.
Shaq tells you to take the mic. You take the mic.
I take the mic.
Yeah.
Standing there, he's playing 1 or 2 more songs. I'm like, what do you want me to do with the mic? He's like, no, just wait. All right. Another song plays. And he's like, just wait. It's coming. All right. Holding the mic. And he goes, all right, now it's you. You're going to sing. And I'm like, Shaq tells you to sing. You sing.
You have to.
Right?
I don't know what's coming on. Kelly Clarkson. I was like, I don't know the words to this. But it gets to the chorus. And maybe I'm not an enthusiast, but she's got bangers.
It just comes back.
You got to sing along.
You crushed it, man. You did. You crushed it.
I hate that.
That was electric. I didn't even realize that DJ Diesel was there. And by the way, does Shaq speaking like his like really low voice when he's yelling at you?
Oh, dude.
It's like, take the mic. Is it like
it was? So you didn't really hear him when he said take the mic. I heard him when he was on the mic saying
Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was electric. That was getting the boys going.
So did you guys win before? What was the
yeah.
So last year the Orioles, he performed after an Orioles game and it was against the Twins. And I think it was a 9-1 loss, but all 9 runs had happened in like the first 2 innings. So it was just like a slow, painful, and the entire stadium stayed because they're like, well, DJ Diesel's playing afterwards. And it was just so awkward. Like you're sitting there in the 7th and you're like, can we just end this game? Like we're all here for one reason. But the guys who went up on stage, it was like they filed out like one by one, almost like people were like inside, like, hey, I know it was a bad loss, but we do need people out there. Like they would one by one come walking on. And then we talked to Cedric Mullins. He said he had to walk on front because Shaq's stage is so big. Cedric was like, he couldn't.
No, dude, he's like, I feel like I'm 6'5". I'm a tall dude. Like I feel like when I go out in public, like people are like, wow, you're so tall. I've never felt shorter in my life.
Oh,
never.
Oh yeah. Well, also fun fact for that, we had Shaq's shoe growing up. It's a memento. We weren't just like, hey, here's Shaquille O'Neal's shoe. I guess it was a gift.
One of our strength coaches bought Shaquille O'Neal's shoe just to have him sign it. And that thing is like,
oh yeah,
legit this big.
So that's where I was going with this. I had a show and tell when I was 6. And so I brought the shoe in and it couldn't fit in the backpack. Couldn't zip it up. Like, and I had nothing else in the backpack. That was it. And it was
size
just
22.
Yeah.
Dude, gigantic.
Yeah. So talk about someone that really dwarfs you and humbles you, it's Shaquille O'Neal when you sit next to him. Even now, like that is the one guy as far as like dominant athletes. It's that had to have been a terrifying.
You can't miss him. Like when he was walking across the field, like everyone was like, "Oh, is he on stage? Is he on stage?" And then you just see this monster walking across, and you're like, "I think that's Shaquille O'Neal."
Yeah, what gave it away?
Yeah,
I think like it goes to show me like when you look at guys in the NBA like a Steph Curry, and you're like, "Oh, he's short, he's tiny." Like, no, dude, the guys he's playing with are gigantic.
Yeah, they're it's just that everyone's tall in the NBA for the most part. Like still like Steph or whoever, like 6'3" is like the lower threshold, but still like 6'3".
Yeah.
You know, like we have a guy, Kevin, that's not in here. He's about 5'3", 5'4". I don't know. Is that being generous?
That's being really
He's pretty short. Like we measured him up against the sign. He wasn't bigger than the sign back here. That's
that was
tough.
a tough one.
You clear that easy. But and also I'm going to need you and Nick Vespi to compare notes on the DJ Diesel experience.
Okay.
Because
he was up there too.
He was up there as well. So I just for my own well-being. All right. So like you talked about some Orioles. One that I think that people, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is a guy you're talking about. Yeah. Can you give the lowdown a little bit more on Enrique? Like what Birdland and people can expect from him? Because
what they can expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're getting one of the best center fielders I've ever seen. Kid covers ground out there. He could walk on water out there. I think he's just a natural out there. I think that's super comforting, especially coming from a pitcher's perspective.
Yeah,
knowing that stuff's going to get tracked down out there is very easing for the mind. And then with the bat, I think he's doing a good job of showing some power now. But super contact guy. He's going to let the legs work. He's going to be super active on base. I think he fits into this Orioles system super well within the next coming years.
Yeah, I think that everyone's really excited about because it's also a different style. And we talked about like the power is one of the last things that can come for a player. And whether he ends up being a 15, 20 home run guy or he just stays as a guy that gets on base. I mean, the dude can just play. The dude can run. The dude can patrol the outfield, like you said, like nobody else out there. We had hopefully I don't butcher the name again, but I got it down.
Yeah.
Our favorite Italian, sorry, Rocco, but Mark Antonini, his name. He's the play-by-play broadcaster up in Aberdeen. Yeah, Antonini. And you would think that that's an Italian name, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I got Rocco.
Okay, no. Rip declared him our favorite Italian, and then we're like, has anyone clarified that he is Italian?
And he's not Italian.
No, we don't know.
Okay.
So
it sounds Italian.
It sounds Italian. Very Italian. It should be Italian.
He is Italian.
He's sold on it.
No, I asked him then. He is Italian.
Rip thinks if he just keeps saying it out loud, it'll make him Italian. So.
Yes, but he is. I did confirm.
Okay, you confirmed he's Italian.
I confirmed this.
Okay.
Confirmed. So that's
confirmed Italian broadcaster.
Yeah, confirmed Italian broadcaster. Where was guy gonna go with this? Trying to think of other Orioles here. Mountie, you've seen around.
Yeah,
obviously
in high school.
Yeah,
played against him in the show. Who else? Austin Hayes. Played against him in high A. Absolutely torched me. Played against him in the show.
Yeah, what happened there? That year in high A, that was like you being on steroids in 2016 for Mahoning Valley. That was Austin Hayes' situation.
Well, the thing is, the very first time I faced him, I punched 14 in the game.
Oh.
And he went 2 for 3. Or no, I think it was 1 for 2. His first at bat, he was a leadoff hitter.
So you were in Lynchburg, right?
Lynchburg.
Mm-hmm.
He was in
Frederick, baby. The keys. Shake those keys, Triston.
Keys.
F-Town, baby.
His first at bat, he went deep. His next at bat, I walked him because I was scared. The next at bat, he hit a one hopper past my third baseman that they called an error. Probably should have been just a straight up double.
Yeah.
And I ended up striking out 14, but he had no problem seeing the ball. I don't know what it was, but he was all over me the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, I think just a good reminder, and I tell people when like players struggle, talk about talented guy. Austin Hayes was an all-star for a reason. You've gotten to see him firsthand, even in the minors. It's just a guy that's averaged 18 jacks and 30 doubles the last 3 seasons here in Baltimore. And I'm sorry for that moment. So, but
it's the game. I take it with a grain of salt.
Is there like a guy right now or that you faced where you're like, I need to figure out how to get you out? Is there one right now in the bigs that you have?
I mean, he was one of them.
Yeah.
Outside of that, not really. I think there's a lot of good hitters. It's more just about keeping them off balance. Bobby Witt's got my number right now, but I'll be able to face him next week.
Yeah.
Figure some stuff out.
Oh, yeah. You got the matchup upcoming with him. I mean, Bobby Witt's got a lot of people's numbers right now. He's
very good.
He's very good. And also, like, the comparison with, like, Gunnar and Bobby, they're two different styles of play, but they're both really, really good. Yeah. I haven't seen, maybe because we're not in Kansas City, but I've seen a pissed off Gunnar. So I've seen Gunnar when he was 19, and it was just, so I was also teammates with Soto. So Zach's heard the story. Soto, Henderson, the only two oh shit moments I had is for like being around. We're like, yeah, you're different. This is not, what are you doing?
You can always tell.
Yeah. Yeah. You could tell instantly. Do you have one of those guys that you played with that you're like, man, this guy's special? I mean, you talked about Jose Ramirez now being in the bigs, but was there a guy too that you're just like, man?
Bieber.
Me
and him were teammates in high A.
Yeah.
And I think I think in the minors, you're able to like, you have to scout or not scout, you have to chart. So you're sitting behind there and you're really locking in the game. And just like watching from behind and just watching him get outs, I was like almost befuddled. Cause like at that point, his stuff wasn't like, he wasn't 3 to 5. He wasn't throwing like super hard, but he was getting outs. And it was so consistent. And I was just like, he's not overpowering guys. He's literally just out pitching guys. And then he gets to the show and it's exactly the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, then that's like the insights of seeing it come up. And I mean, I think that people forget too, with you guys having success, you're doing it without him.
Yeah.
You know, and like everyone also wanted the Guardians to trade Shane Bieber in the offseason, specifically people in Baltimore. They're like, Shane, come on over. But I think people just continue to underestimate you guys. And right now, like, you guys are right back on track of just, you know, your young core. I mean, I also faced Josh Naylor when he started his career at the Marlins and the GCL, a dude that just found himself in Cleveland, and not just found himself, heart of the lineup. Heart of the lineup, man. He's got, is he the heart of the team?
He's, if you talk about energy in a ballpark, he's the guy. I think you guys see the videos when he kind of like lets it explode a little bit. But like, I think he's like that all the time. Like, he's such a competitor. Like, he wants to win so bad. I think you see it comes out, especially like when he hits home runs. He's been, I love his sellies this year too. He seems disgusted with himself when he hits homers this year.
So what's one of your favorite sellies he's done?
My favorite all-time selly was when we were in Chicago 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This is like May. We were down. He had like 8 RBIs in like the 8th and the 9th inning.
Yeah.
He hits the go-ahead grand slam or the game-time grand slam and literally like loses his mind. My favorite selly is him throwing the helmet. And if it's not that, it's when Tito was here and he hits a walk-off homer and headbutts Tito.
Wait a minute. He headbutts Tito?
Yes. Like,
is there a video out there?
Well, we're gonna find it if there
has to be.
I mean, he's got so many moments. He hit himself in the head with the bat this year and then bat spiked it. Electric.
I love that.
Electric.
Like that fires me up. Yeah. I love a little passion in the game. I know people are like, hey, don't show emotions. Like, well, hey, you do something good, I get fired up about it. And also, like, it energizes the team. The boys love it.
He's here for the boys.
He's here for the boys.
I was just going to say, literally, like, people online and stuff will talk about, hey, like, why is he so eccentric? Like, you know, showing so much emotion. But right here, Tristan and Tony, like, it gets the team fired up. And, like, isn't that part of what you're trying to do when you have those big moments? Is you want the team now to, okay, now let's open the floodgates. Let's go win this. Like, it's not as cool if you hit one and then you just walk around the bases and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game is hard enough. So like being able to kind of like let all those emotions go when you do have a moment of success in a game of failure, I think it's necessary. I think not everybody is able to do it because you need to be consistent to do it. But I think when you do have those moments of success, you know the game's hard.
So I'll ask you then, someone hits a bomb off you and pimps the hell out of it. You pissed? Or like, are you? I mean, okay. Let me rephrase. You're pissed. You're not happy.
I'm not mad at them though.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's you earn that. I think hitting's hard. I think like there's a reason that I don't hit. So like when you get your wins, do what you need to do. I'm going to be pissed off that I let you hit that pitch.
Yeah.
But I can't be mad at you for celebrating your own win.
Okay. Because that's also this new day of situations where it's like you show someone up. Do you hit them? Do you not hit them? The old age of baseball, like Aaron Judge got hit in the hand the other day on a 1-2 pitch in a 1-0 game where the two teams are separated by a game and a half in the third inning, and people were very upset, but it was mainly because of the person that got hit, not necessarily. But it's like that was an old age, and then Gunnar Henderson just wore one in the back in game 2.
So tough.
And then he ended up scoring the run that was the difference in the game.
Yeah,
from
Orioles
that.
won 7-6.
Baseball gods, man.
Yeah.
Baseball
I mean,
gods.
but that's the game. I think sometimes you can't play like that. You got to just go out there and do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing and be pissed. So people know you can pimp a home run off of Triston. Just know he's pissed, but not at you.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do
Well,
that.
then just make sure they don't hit one. You know?
But that's when I think there's going to be a beef, because if I face you and I punch you, I'm going to do some eccentric stuff on the mound.
So you'll give it back.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think it's fair. If someone's going to pimp it, then if a pitcher's going to show the emotion, give it right back to him. You know what's funny? Dean Kramer, I don't know if you ever saw this moment. We'll wrap up here in a second. Dean was facing Soto here in Baltimore, and Dean just kind of has, I love him, just has like a resting bitch face at times.
Super stale face.
Yeah, stale face. And then sometimes when he looks, you just think he's pissed. Like, Dean, what's wrong? You're shoving today. Like, you look, it's okay. So apparently Soto looked at that as Dean was insulting him. So then Orioles are up. It's like a 3-2 count, 3-1 count. And Soto hits a ball to the moon, literally to the moon. And Soto pimps the hell out of it and then stares at Dean rounding third base and then goes into the dugout and then after the game, Soto's like, he didn't like the shuffle. I bet he didn't like the home run either. And then, of course, I text Dean because I'm like, and I know that because Dean was my teammate, and I texted him. I'm like, were you dropping F-bombs on Soto? And he goes, I didn't say anything. I'm like, no. I said, but like, to be fair, Dean, you looked like you're just pissed. And he goes, well, I mean, I wasn't like happy about that. He's like, sick, man. You hit a home run off me. Great. I'm going to win this game.
Solo home run.
Yeah,
that was the other thing.
That was what he said. Solo home run. He goes, I'm just going to go win this game. And the O's did. So, it was a good moment. I'm going to go back and look at some home runs that were pimped off you now, just for fun.
You're going to see, I mean, I think as a pitcher, like a majority of the home runs I give up, I try not to look until like I know it's like, all right, that's a bad pitch. He probably got that. Foul ball. Good. He probably got that. That's definitely the only ones that I like really watch are like the ones that are going to go like 450. Like I threw a middle fastball to Judge in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Nice.
And it was impressive.
It was impressive.
I had to watch that one.
He's a very good player. Yeah. He's really good. And for people, I'm sorry, Birdland, I respect game. I told you, I love the players. So yeah, Aaron Judge, even though if it's against the Orioles, like, dude, he is just a different breed.
Yeah.
And he's also, talk about a unit.
Yeah. His
Good
hand
boy.
is like two of mine.
Yeah. And you're a big dude. So 2 things we're going to do, Zach, moving forward. We're going to get a collage of McKenzie home runs given up and reactions and just see where it's at.
We also have to time how fast you look to see if you watch the home run or not.
Yeah.
We'll have to
And now I want to watch too if it's like, is it going? Is it going? I got to find I got to lock into Triston McKenzie.
It's very much like, oh, bad pitch. Look, there's going to be like a 1-2 second delay before a head turn.
Yeah. And and the thing is, when it's a bad pitch and sitting there and you're like, yep, here it comes. Oh,
Judge's got that one swing that he does.
Yep.
And like out of the hand, I was like, that's right in the swing path.
Yeah. You saw it happen before it happened.
Yeah.
That's okay. But you know what?
You know what he's trying for at the plate too. So
yeah. Yes. Very, very well aware. I mean, if besides Stephen Kwan being the best hitter right now at this current time, as far as getting on base, I think people could say what Aaron Judge has done over the last month and a half has been historic.
his May was ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I thought Jose's May was
ridiculous,
top of the top, and he beat him.
Yeah, he's good. All right, let's wrap up a couple fun things here. Any favorite minor league story that you have, or just great minor league story? I'll tell you one of mine so you can think about it, because then we'll get you out of here, because I know on the time crunch, 11:26. So we'll 2 questions, this one, and we'll do one more.
Okay.
But we were driving back from Asheville, playing the Asheville Taurus, and our bus overheated. And so we had to pour water on the bus for it to go. And then it broke down again. So we took all the water from every person on the team, dumped it on the engine or whatever to cool off. And then the GM from Hagerstown met us 2 hours out to pour it again. A 5-hour trip, 6-hour trip turned into like a 10-hour excursion. Ooh. That was fun. Or you can ask Mo about the time our bus driver parked too close to the Connecticut Tigers. Was that the team? Parked too close, shattered the windshield. No. Shattered the side. And so our hitting coach and our other bench coach, they put like, a little like wrap over it, and then it rained. So then they're holding it in place, and I'm trying to hold it in place, and water's just humming in. It's a great time. Do you have one of those moments?
Bad bus story in Double A at the end of the year. Actually, both my stories are from Double A in Akron. End of the year, we're playing the Blue Jays affiliate. I can't think of it. But this is like championship game. We're losing the series. We literally get swept at home. We lose 3 games, and it's a 7-game series. So if we lose 4, we're out.
Yep.
We lose the 3 at home. We take the 8-hour bus trip all the way up there, lose the game, and our manager was like, Tony Manzolino, their base coach for the like, we literally have no reason to stay here. We're going to drive right back.
Oh, so 16 hours in a day?
And like a little over 24, 48 hours.
That sounds fun.
That was tough.
And again, talking about on these buses, and for a guy being your height too, there's limited space, Zach. It's not like
you're not super stretched out. You got some big guys on the team. You guys are sharing some space there.
Yeah. Okay.
My good story though.
Good story.
I was hurt to begin that year, and my first start, we're actually playing the same team. I show up, and in my locker are a set of body blades in my uniform with my headphones, which I carry with me all the time, on the body blade. So it's the body blade in my locker with my jersey on it. And they're like, Triston, welcome back. We miss you so much.
So what was your nickname at that time?
Sticks.
It was Sticks.
There's actually, I think there's a picture on Twitter floating around of that.
Oh my God.
I would have to go like deep in the archives to find it, but I think it's there.
We'll get in the archives.
Circa June 2018, somewhere around there.
Zach's going to be on it already.
I'll make sure it's back.
Very, very, very good picture.
Dude, I love that's Oh, you're a good kid, Triston. Oh, goodness. All right, last question. We'll get you out of here. This is the most controversial question I'll ask you. It's brought to you by our friends over at Stuggies. They're in Section 69 of the stadium. Not that you're going to go to Section 69 because you're going to be on the field, but they do a specialty dog, a crab mac and cheese hot dog. Would you be willing to try that at some point?
I don't like mac and cheese.
Okay. That's fair.
As if it's not my mom's.
Okay.
Oh.
But
do you eat hot dogs? Have you eaten hot dogs?
Yes.
This is where the question's going to go. And this is the controversial part.
No, I said yes, so the mic could hear me, but the camera couldn't see. Yes.
Okay. I see what you're doing now. Oh, some people are going to figure that out. Okay. But if you're having a hot dog and you got to choose a condiment or eat it plain.
Oh.
Triston McKenzie, what's going on your dog?
Ketchup. If not ketchup, then mustard. No relish, maybe onions.
Okay, onions, I'd say that's a topping. Oh, onions a topping.
But condiment, ketchup or mustard.
Okay, that's fine. I eat my hot dogs plain for the most part.
Ooh. Thank you.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
I mean, to each their own. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how you like to do it.
That's how I like to do it.
I mean, for me, it's a little dry. I need a little, just a little something extra on the hot dog.
Well, I mean, I just think if it's a good dog, you can eat it without a condiment.
Even the bread too, like.
Yeah. So why is this so crazy for
it's
you?
like a I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't eat like a regular sandwich with like no cheese or like no sauce on there. Or like
I've done that too. I mean, if body needs to be a temple, Tristan, sometimes we got to cut down.
Like ham sandwich, plain ham and bread.
When I was younger and I didn't open up my horizon to foods. I did. I have changed that.
But now you see there's a better way.
At times, but it's also
I got him.
Yep.
No.
Well, do you want to tell them about your early days of eating hot dogs?
Okay, but so you can't judge me on my past. Talk about my present.
You spent a lot of time in ballparks too, so
yes,
it's a lot.
Well, so the one thing that he's alluding to is that when I was a kid, the texture of the hot dog always messed with me. Especially, this is going to sound terrible, but like I choked on a dog, so then, therefore. The texture of like the actual skin of the dog. So then my mom had to help me like cut off the skin of the hot dog when I was a kid.
So you used to eat your hot dogs no skin?
Yeah.
No skin when I was younger.
No skin. You would eat a skin hot
much worse.
But don't judge me on my past, man. Like we grew up, okay, Tristan?
Okay.
Do I look a little bit more put together?
Definitely.
Thank you. You just had to bring that up.
It's the best story we have. I mean,
bless it. Yeah, so it changed, Tristan. It changed, but thank you for bringing that out. We're you know what, we're gonna have to have you on for times. I want to have like a seafood tasting with you.
Oh, baby, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
We're in. Okay, so next time you come to Baltimore, grab Mo so he can come up here as well. I'll come to Cleveland. There's got to be some good restaurants up there.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, there's a lot of good restaurants up there actually.
Hell yeah. All right, so we're
going to Cleveland on our way back from Tijuana.
Oh yeah, we are going to Tijuana.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. Apparently, Mexican League in Tijuana is like an electric place to go. Just what I heard. It's a party at the stadium.
Yeah. So
Muchas cervezas. Mickey Janis is a former knuckleballer guy. Debuted with the Orioles. One of my former teammates, and he's just like, it's just a different world. And he goes, "You guys should go to Tijuana." So we're mapping out. What we're going to do. And I think next year, Zach, for spring training or like for the season, we're going to go to Winnebago.
Yeah.
Just
Winnebago.
go places.
That'll be dope.
Yeah.
That'll be super cool.
I think baseball's missing that. They're missing a guy. It's just going to guys going into Winnebago.
Yeah.
Talk food with Triston McKenzie and hip mobility.
Hip mobility and core strength with bodies.
Hip mobility and core strength while also judging seafood.
You guys are going to Winnebago to all 30?
That's what I keep saying. And
MLB. Ball's in your court, but we'll do it as well. We got some ideas in the works. Why not? Anything on the way out then before you go that you want to talk about or any thing you want to plug before we let you get out of here?
Shout out my boy Enrique. I see you, boy.
Love that.
That's pretty much it. And shout out my little brother. I'm rooting for you, kid.
Hell yeah. See, I know your group, your circle, you care about your core guys, and I love that. And that's why I was glad. I thought, yeah, one more.
Go Guards.
Go Guards. That's okay.
That's it. Go Guards.
That's it. Hey, look, dude, not against the Orioles. Everyone, I'm going to root for you always. But I think a lot of people are going to root for Triston McKenzie and the Guards, especially if can someone beat the Yankees? They're doing well against the Central. Can you change that?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay. That's all we needed to know. That's what we need.
Can we get tonight?
I think they have one loss against the Central.
Yes.
Guards.
Yeah.
Guards.
Can we get that up?
We're working. We're working
on it.
We'll see them again soon.
So you guys heard the Triston McKenzie. It's a guarantee. They will beat the Yankees every single time moving forward for the duration of the 2024 season, postseason.
And Tristan is pitching every time, no matter how many straight days, just to make sure it happens.
I'm in there.
Yep.
That's what he does. But Tristan, appreciate you, man. Thanks for taking the time. Be good, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time you're back in Baltimore.
Thank you, Rip.